Ladies, run for the hills if you're dealing with a man like this. It's all about control, dominance, power. If his way or no other way of approach is the only way, run. If he sees you as an appliance to be used, and when he doesn't use you, he can easily just leave you alone, discard you, put you to a corner, you're a fly in the wall, you and maybe even your children, disregards you, inconsistent. His money is his money. He can travel whenever he wants, use his money whenever he wants, spend his money on whatever and whenever, however he wants. But your money is his money, and he gives you incentives or demands to give you incentives. He's inconsistent with having a joint account for the bills. Run for the hills.
I see a lot of jealous husbands.
Sure.
Husbands who are jealous. They're jealous of the woman's success.
Ash.
Because of they're having their own struggles, and instead of actually using their intellectual energy and whatever else that they've got to collaborate with their wives, they compete. They sabotage. They're sabotaging their businesses.
Sure.
They're sabotaging them at work. I mean, if I told you some of the stories that I know, you'll be shocked.
Sure.
And you're looking at these men that are so used to seeing their mothers being at a disadvantage, and they admire their fathers, and they have this unresolved lust of being in the position of power, the same way that their fathers were in the positions of power.
Sure.
And when they see their wives actually doing more, as much or even better than them, they feel less, and they become jealous, and they sabotage. They sabotage. They sabotage through psychological attacks. You're nothing. You think you're this, and then they'll weaponize religion.
Yeah.
You know, you're not a Proverbs 31 woman.
Yeah.
The question is that, are you the husband that is able to handle a Proverbs 31
Come on, bro.
woman? You know, and I think on Ask God, like, why did you not have a Proverbs 32 man?
You know why? The whole Proverbs are written to the son.
Aha.
And so the woman is only told about how she can be in Proverbs 31, but the rest of the Proverbs are for you, man.
For you and
how you need to show up.
That's a very
as a husband, right? Show up as the kind of man that can handle a Proverbs 31.
Sure.
So I'm like, man, there's more on your shoulder.
There's more on our shoulders.
So here's my take on this topic of men literally in committed relationship, in marriages, and a lot of times because of money or the drive or the woman being in their purpose, wanting to be in their purpose. You know, guys, let me know in the comment section if you've had an experience like this, of experiencing or thinking or having an instinct that your husband, your partner, your fiance could possibly be jealous of you, or jealous of your success, jealous of your career, your goals, your ambition, your essence as a woman, how you carry yourself, your personality. They like hate it about you, but they're still with you. A lot of men will not initiate divorce, but they will punish you by being distant, by giving you the silent treatment, by stonewalling you, by isolating you, by trying all different tactics, including, shaming your appearance. You might look in the mirror and believe that you're the most beautiful woman, but if you're with that partner who you love so much, because at an emotional level, and they're not that emotionally intelligent, which majority of men are not emotionally intelligent, not able to communicate their feelings and emotion, not knowing how to self-regulate or self-soothe, or how to repair, how to do repair or ongoing repair, how to be in their bodies and know how they're feeling besides anger. Most men are conditioned in the patriarchy, in the manosphere, to only feel anger and act angry in very passive aggressive or sometimes aggressive ways, honestly. Because if you're giving somebody stonewalling, if you're telling somebody they look ugly but you know they look beautiful, if you're choosing to withhold telling your wife, your woman, that they are beautiful as an intentional way to manipulate her psychologically, that is dark right there. That is sadist approach right there. And a lot of men, especially insecure men, adopt this mindset because they want to control and dominate you, and by any means necessary. And the more dominated you are, the more subdued you are, the more you spend so much time trying to figure out what's going on. And if you're not smart enough to catch it in at the first instinct, at the first realization, you walk away or give that boundary. And if that boundary gets, you're able to like, that's it type of approach, they're not going to respect you, and they'll continue to unleash that anger and hatred on you. And I don't want to use that word too much, but it's such a truth. This is why some of this shows that a lot of women end up unaliving, and also in real life getting unalived, it stems from being with men who literally hate them, dislike them, like literally do not like the fact that you're ambitious, you're driven, you want to be a doctor, you are a doctor. They found you ambitious, they met you, you kind of, you as you flow, they'll realize that you are that kind of girl, you're that kind of, but they'll be like, get you and want to change you or subdue you, or say, be jealous of you going back to school, getting your degrees, your PhD, whatever, your masters, and want to squash it. Or a lot of times they find different ways to sabotage it, literally. And if you don't catch to it and realize, you love that man, but you're realizing and not have cognitive dissonance, and to be like, oh, maybe that's not it. Maybe they had a bad day, but how many bad days can they possibly have before you realize, oh yeah, this person is really literally trying to, kind of do that. A lot of men, especially African men, don't respect women. They think of women as just object, as something they use as a means to an end, like an appliance, as a tool. If you're an appliance, you only think of your fridge if you need water or a drink from it. You get it, you shut it. You're not constantly sitting there thinking of it like, oh, my fridge, I like my fridge, blah, blah, blah. No, you get it. It's a means to an end. You get your water, it's nice and cold. You're like, oh, this fridge is good, I thank God. Or if it's broken and you're like, oh my God, it sucks, fridge is broken. Men is the same way. Maybe you get pregnant, so now they can't get sex, or you just had a baby, so they can't get sex right away. So like, damn, I can get it. So they may go cheating. So that's where you're just there because of your heart part. You're just a means to an end. A lot of men think this way. Not all men, but a lot of them. Even if they don't go cheating, they might emotionally cheat, or they might use their own self-pleasuring ways to pleasure themselves, which whatever, or they might go to porn. So it's all about getting the dopamine hit. This is what I said. Men, is all about three things: sex, selfishness, and status. So if the limelight is not on them, then it's not doing it for them. It's not hitting their ego. It's all about that ego stimulation, that dopamine hit. And where we are, women, we are more oxytocin, we are bonding, we are loving. Snap out of it, because a lot of men don't function this way. Take it from your big sister, whatever. Some of us learned it the hard way, because this romanticizing, meanwhile these men are calculating. They are just there thinking of you as, what else can I get from this girl? And like, your financial independence is gonna sabotage their way to get what they want from you. A lot of these men will make, like, especially nurses, a lot of men will gravitate towards nurses and other professions too, lawyers, doctors, teachers, those professions that a lot of women go into, that offer us flexibility, and many other more, accountants, things like that. You can work remotely, take care of the kids. You're that kind of woman, loving, kind, Christian, loyal. You're not frolicking and also cheating. You're not that kind of woman who's going to the club. You're that woman who's had babies, who are beautiful, so you can give them beautiful babies. But they still hate on you so much, but you have to recognize it. So you're like,
when a man cheats, ask yourself, Father, in everything that you have written concerning me, is there a cheating man? And the Lord will say no. We say, okay. You man, you are a faithful man. Some of you need to just be prophetic. You know you love to discuss situations a lot. How I wish the women listening to me, you are faced with infidelity. I pray that you see beyond it. You begin to look at your man and say, you will stop cheating. I don't see you as a cheater. I don't see you as an abusive man. I see you as a faithful man. You speak it prophetically. You see beyond that broken relationship and you say, Lord, as you leave, one of these days I'll see him come back home to only me. Amen. You walk with it every day. He comes back late, you say, you are welcome, my faithful husband. You see your stubborn wife and you say, I love you, my very submitted wife. It's not the same thing. You will hear me. You will listen to me. But you see, most of us have allowed what we are going through right now to override what we should see happening in the future. Let me tell you, affairs don't always last for long. And I see when women are calling me, they say, Apostle, my husband is a cheater. So why do you expect a cheater to stop cheating? Even you have allowed the situation to decide your confession, not knowing what you say, you bring to pass. The Bible says you shall decree a thing and it shall be what? Established. Learn to declare what you want to see. Hold his hand and say, my husband, you are the richest man alive.
He's broke.
My husband, you are the most faithful man I know. Even when you saw a bad message, even when he slept over and never came back, you know that you know it has to end well. I know so many people have told you it will end in tears. It is theirs which will end in tears, not yours.
Husbands, listen up. Here are 3 ways that you could be sabotaging your marriage right now. 1, you take your wife for granted. You sit back and watch that she takes care of most, if not all, the responsibilities in the household and managing the expenses, and you actually sit back and take advantage of it without offering any type of help or support. 2, lack of follow through. So you tell your wife that you're going to pick up the leaves, or that you're going to replace the light bulb, or that you are going to actually go to the market and pick up the groceries that are needed, but yet you never do, and again it all falls back on her. And 3, lack of respect. This is where you don't give priority to your wife's needs, wants, or requests. Which one of these are you guilty of in your marriage right now?
Story time. Am I the a-hole for putting my wife's ex-husband on speaker and letting her hear about what he's done? I'm 35, married to my wife, 36. A year ago, she divorced from her ex-husband, Joseph, who's 39, and they share custody of their daughter, who's 15. Joseph has always been a shit stirrer. He tends to start arguments and setting everyone up to argue with each other, whether it be me, my wife, her family, etc., somehow framing me as the cause for all the terrible things happening. So my wife has been trying to find a job and finally got an opportunity to work at a decent company not too far away from where we lived. She had an interview and was waiting for a response when the company called and told her that her husband contacted them and told them that she had XYZ issues, which resulted in her getting disqualified for the position. She came and yelled at me, accusing me of sabotaging her career and trying to control her while ruining her reputation. I swore that I had nothing to do with it, but she said the company told her that her husband contacted them. But they refused to reveal his contact info. I figured it was Joseph, especially when he hinted about it. He would usually call to brag after causing an issue and making me the bad guy. I didn't wait for his call. I called him myself, put him on speaker, and had my wife listen. I lured him into confessing and bragging about impersonating me and ruining the opportunity for my wife. My wife was furious. She left and there was a huge argument at his house. He called me, yelling, saying that I set him up and that my wife won't get off of his back about it now, and moreover his daughter Mia is not speaking to him. He said I should have minded my own business since this wasn't about me, but I said he was the one who tried to set me up. Anyways, he's mad and still making a fuss about me invading his privacy, and keeps giving me crap about it. No, you're definitely not the a-hole. And Joseph can say it's none of your business all he wants, but it is your business. Because he's messing with your family. When he sabotaged your wife's opportunity, while it does affect his child, it also affects your wife, your child, and your household. So it is your business. And good for you on setting him up. Sometimes you gotta play dirty to get the truth out. I'm just shocked that your wife automatically assumed it was you because they said her husband. If somebody told me that my husband had done that, I would immediately question this person like, no, that's not my husband. I don't think he would do that to me. So I think this guy and his wife really need to have a sit down about her trust issues. But anyways, I want to hear your thoughts. What kind of a father tries to sabotage his ex-wife knowing that their child lives with her? Share your opinions below. Oh, and let us know in the comments, do you have an ex like this?
Am I the only one whose husband, low-key, unintentionally sabotages their healthy eating habits? Like, all I have to do is say, I'm tired of eating salads. Like, I could really just go for some smothered pork chops today, but I know that's not what I need. And he'll be like, babe, you deserve it. Come on, let's just go get some smothered pork chops. One meal's not going to hurt you. Or I'll cook a healthy meal and say, babe, I made some grilled salmon and salad today. Come on and eat. And he'll be like, you know what? I'm not really feeling that today. I was going to go get some barbecue, but you go ahead and eat that. Really? Or I can have the slightest little achievement in a day. Like, hey, babe, my TikTok video went really well today. Or, you know what? I got a lot of work done today. And he'll say, you know what? We need to go out. Come on, let's go to Papa Do's. You deserve it. You did a lot of work today. Like, who does that? Am I the only one? Like, I don't know if this man is trying to fatten me up for Thanksgiving or what. I'm just saying.
He can't love you properly because he's jealous of you. He cannot love you properly because he is secretly in competition with you. He cannot love you properly because, honestly, if he was to treat you the way that you're really supposed to be treated, and if he was to lift you up to your full potential, then you would recognize that you are too much woman for him. He can't love you properly because, for real, he knows for a fact that he's not supposed to be dating women like you. He caught you at a vulnerable moment. He caught you at a point in life where you weren't feeling your best and you wasn't thinking your best, and he slid in there and acted as if he was the best thing for you at that time in your life. But what you really didn't know was he was a leech, and he's sucking on you for dear life, and he's holding on you for dear life, because if he lets you go, your life improves. His declines tremendously. You're sleeping with the enemy and you don't even know it. That's why he can never be proud for you. That's why he never claps for you. That's why he never cheers for you. That's why he never applauds for you. That's why he never encourages you. That's why he never supports you, because if he really lets you really tap into your full potential, you'll realize that you don't need him. Am I lying?
You treat your wife like shit, and I used to be just like you, treating everyone else nicer than I was to my wife. Treating people at work, friends, strangers, better than Catherine. I remember being out, and the moment we get into a cab, I'd lay into her, lecturing her for hours on why she should apologize, how much she should love me because I am who I am. And I reacted in ways that I realized if I had treated other people this way, I'd have no one in my life. Short, snappy, resting sneer face, extreme anger, rage, abuse. I was giving the best side of me to everyone but my wife, and I almost lost her. Don't wait for rock bottom to decide which side of you your wife deserves.